You never know. That can be a great idea or suggestion. So I'll give another one for the holidays. One of the things we do, we started a couple years ago, is a Soul Train line. If you don't know what that is, it's a perfect moment to get the elders and the youngers, and we put them on two lines, and then we turn on the music that the elders love the most, and we make everyone dance down the aisle and video record them. And it's super fun because the kids get to see the elders dance and kind of loosen up a little. It's a family tradition I'll share with you all in case you want to try. All right.
Denise, I'm all about gravy. Let's bring it this in the winter. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying rice and gravy. I'm saying turkey and gravy. I'm saying Cornish hen and gravy. I'm saying mashed potatoes and you know what? In this new California age, cauliflower and gravy. Let's go.
It does not hit the same.
How can I forget stuffing and gravy? Thank you, Bryant. That is key. So
to all my friends out there, if you have a great gravy recipe, please send it our way because I don't make gravy. I have a family gravy. I will try each and every one of your gravy recipes for the holiday season and let you know how it goes.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to have a good time tonight. We know it's been a stressful couple of weeks for a lot of folks. And so I'm gonna pass it on to Franklin so we can talk about, or one more thing before we move on. Tonight we're looking at
biscuits and gravy.
This is gonna go into the chat box all night long. French fries and gravy. Anyone tried that?
What is it?
Fries.
French fries. Oh yeah, is that called poutine? French fries, cheese, and gravy. Oh yeah, that's how I put on 10 pounds in college. Yes.
All right, so the next question, someone is hungry. The next question we have tonight, as we talk about preparing our kids to graduate as San Leandro Unified School District students, is we want to, next slide, Franklin, ask you all, what is one takeaway you hope your student leaves SLUSD with? So when you think about your young folks graduating in 12th grade, what is one thing you hope they, I will give an example because we have a 12th grader graduating this year. James, help me. But one of the things, and I didn't know I needed this until it happened, is I needed her to be able to be a critical thinker and to know how to advocate for herself. That didn't fall into the academics, but I needed her to know how to go ask teachers for help, how to look at things herself, to ask administrators for help, to find her voice. The grades, she caught up, but it was those things that now, as she goes into the world, I really needed her to know that she was okay. So.
Yeah, that's a good example. And I know for me, Gingy, one of the things, in addition to the math and the science and the reading, is I really want my sons to have developed grit and really have the ability to stick things out. And so when they join the bands and when they join sports, as well as their math classes, I want them to be able to develop that skill that lasts beyond that semester, being able to keep at it, even when things get a little challenging.
Yeah.
Someone else want to come off of mute and share what they hope? I hope they have for their student when they leave SLUSD. Also want to encourage folks who are in the Spanish. Yep, Spanish translation is available.
Para mí que tomen decisiones acertadas.
Gracias.
Who else will share?
What is your hope for your child when they graduate high school or middle school?
Kate, will you share? Just one.
So I would say self-confidence, and yes, finding their voice, it's going to be so important here, and their next few years in life as well as the rest of their lives. But yeah, definitely that self-confidence to go and ask for help, knowing that it's okay to ask for help, knowing that no one has all the answers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And our friend that came off of mute and spoke in Spanish said, good decisions.
Yeah.
Oh, great. We have some translation coming in the chat box. Good decisions. Anyone else? What do you hope?
I'll share. I had my son and daughter, they graduated in 2013 and 2015. And the things that I wanted them to come away, which was a civic responsibility, right? Be able to connect with some form of social responsibility, responsibility for their peers. And then, you know, understand about what they're going to have an idea of what they may want to do when they leave high school, right? You know, like something has been presented for them to understand, like, hey, maybe there's vocational training, maybe you're not going to go to a 4-year or 2-year, or not be scared to not, you know, people talk about college and not feel like that has to be your next move, but, you know, what are some more practical things that could be available to them? And those are some of the things that I worked with my children around before they graduated from SL.
Yeah. Thank you, James. Camila, you said to be proud of their accomplishments thus far and have a vision for the future. For them to be proud of their accomplishments, or for you, my friend? Camila, you there, my dear?
Both.
Oh, thank you. And is empathy? For kids to have empathy, that is so important as well, yes. We understand being in karate class. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Empathy, right? I think empathy, and like James talks about, even civil engagement is where the empathy is used a lot as well. And I think that's one of the things we are finding now that our kids need more now than ever. In particular, because of their engagement with social media. Someone else said empathy, Kate, and compassion. Anyone else who wants to bring their voice into the room and share before we move on? Norma, how would you feel about sharing out loud for us? You can definitely pass. Okay. Norma said self-confidence. Oh,
Yeah.
hi.
Hi, sorry, I'm cooking at the same time as I'm listening. Trying
Love
to
it.
find the button here. Sorry. So my experience as a parent, my children have graduated from college, but again, you know, the importance of them being confident, just like know what they want, stand up for what they believe. It was super important, you know. Like James said, having a civic duty also is important. That's what I wanted to share.
Thank you for sharing, my friend. And before we move on, David, I see you came off. Oh, I'm sorry. James, hi, David. You're muted.
David's here to do our Cantonese translation.
Oh, great.
So we're going to
Let's
go
get
ahead
that
and
screen back
add
on.
David on for Cantonese translation. David, you want to introduce yourself? David? Can you introduce yourself, David, and let them know that you're going to do translation?
I think there's a delay, or he's frozen.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe if we privately chat him when he's ready, let us know and we'll just stop talking, James.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, you all. So thank you so much. Now I'm going to pivot to Frank because, you know, I just want to say that as parents, we're all, and guardians, all learning how to help our kids, our nephews, our nieces, our young folks be successful. And many of us are trying to do better than people did with us. And so tonight is a night of learning to ask curious questions and don't feel bad about it. If there's a question you want to ask and you don't want to publicly say it, inbox me and Franklin and we'll ask it. But this night is a night for us to see, like, how do we support the district in supporting our students? Because for some of us, our kids are our most precious thing ever. All right. All right. Give it on over to you, Frank, for the intro.
Yeah, thank you, Gingy, for inviting the authenticity into the room and to invite the curiosity into the room to understand that all of us as parents get to have access to this information, but that access may come in different ways. And so tonight we wanted to offer a space for us to interact with the district so that we can also see how we be with our families and with each other. And as Gingy said, then that translates to how we might show up for our students in relationship to the district. And so tonight we wanted to explore the graduate profile. You know, when we became district parents 8 years ago, our kids are in middle school now, but they were in elementary school then. You know, one of the things we wanted to understand, we were not, you know, we didn't grow up in San Leandro. So we wanted to get an understanding of who's important here. What are we trying to do here? How do we be active parents in this community? How do we contribute? And part of that was trying to understand our principal's vision and ultimately the district's vision for student success. I'm excited tonight. I really am enthused tonight to pass the mic over to Celine Liu, who is the Director of Teaching, Learning, and Educational Equity. And in particular, our students have been impacted by her work in the area of being scholars and math scholars and having pathways opened up, doors opened up, because we are raising Black young men to see themselves as mathematical scholars and scholars in general. And so we just want to welcome you, Celine, to present the San Leandro graduate profile and any intersections with what that means and with an equity lens so that all families and all communities are seen, honored, and celebrated. So thank you for being here, Celine.
Thanks for having me, Franklin. I'm really excited to be here. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to interact with families. And Franklin is right. Later on this year, you might see me in a different space talking about our secondary math pathways and talking about some of the options and opportunities that are available for your students as they move through our math program in San Leandro Unified. But tonight, I'll focus on the theme, which is on the graduate profile. And the graduate profile, which Franklin will put up on the slides in a moment, is really our North Star. It's our compass. It's what we aim for when we think about our programming in San Leandro Unified and the learning experiences that we're providing for our students. It describes what all students should know and be able to do by graduation. And as James mentioned, these are,
Celine, can I ask you to pause?
No problem.
I think we want to have David, and I see share in Cantonese how people can enter the translation rooms. Is that right, James? And maybe Frank, can we go back to the translation slide, even for those who are Spanish speaking, having a hard time getting in the translation room? Thank you. David, if you can please share.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not sure how they get into the translation room. I've never done that before.
I'll say it, and then maybe you can translate behind.
Yeah, I can do that.
Welcome. In order to go into the translation room in Spanish and Cantonese,
歡迎你。如果你想入去嗰個翻譯間房係西班牙話或者廣東話。
At the bottom of your screen is an arrow that shows the interpretation link you click on.
你個畫面下邊個位置咧有一個翻譯嗰個箭嘴咧，你係剔嗰度啦。
That should allow you to go into the translation rooms.
呢個係應該係幫你入去翻譯間房嘅。
So I'm going to access it now.
Great. Thank
David,
Someone said same for mobile. There should be a link on your mobile phone that has the same icon. Great. We're ready to go, Jane. Thank you, Celine. Go ahead, my friend.
Yep, no problem. So again, our graduate profile is our North Star, is our guiding compass, and it describes what we hope all students will be able to know and be able to do by graduation, whether they are going to college, going to work, or preparing to just be a citizen and a kind of global contributor in our world. And so back in 2018, the graduate profile was approved, but it really was a collaborative process involving families, students, community members, principals, board members, union representatives, really a broad representation of everyone in San Leandro to think about what would it mean for a student to be successful when they leave 12th grade from one of our schools. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about the different components of the graduate profile. Franklin, can you show the slides? Thank you. So what you see here is our graduate profile. And when Genji asked you what you hope for your students and what you hope they leave with after high school, what you might notice is that almost all of those qualities are here in our graduate profile, are really reflected in the 4 different quadrants that we've identified in San Leandro Unified as being our graduate vision. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about each of the 4 sections. And what you'll notice is that it really encompasses the whole child. So we're not just focusing on academics and doing well on the test through grades, but really what does it take to be successful in life after high school. So on the next slide, you'll see in the first quadrant, we talk about we would like our SLUSD graduates to be critical thinkers. Genji mentioned that for her niece graduating, and a couple other people mentioned you want your student to be able to persevere, to have grit, right? Like you see a hard math problem or you have a difficult challenge with a friend, and you're able to use that as an opportunity to learn, reflect, and grow. And so when we build our learning experiences in classrooms, it's important for us to give opportunities for students to really be challenged. We want them to be open and curious. We want them to leave being lifelong learners so that they, and earners too, right? Because we want them to be able to survive in the Bay Area. But that means asking questions so they can better understand what's in front of them. That means being able to collect information and evaluate it so that someone said they can make good decisions, right? So they're thinking critically and not just accepting all of the information that lives out there. We know that there's a lot of information that's ungrounded. So how do they make a decision about where this data is coming from and whether it's coming from a particular perspective and why it's being shared the way it is. We want our students to be flexible and creative. So they can kind of name problems and then imagine possibilities and possible solutions to these problems. And as they are learning English language arts and math and science and social studies, they're learning facts, they're learning skills in maybe a textbook situation, but it's really important that they're able to take that learning and then apply it in different settings. So when your student gets up into the high school level, you'll see there's a lot of opportunities for internships and work-based learning opportunities, so they can really apply and develop their critical thinking skills. And even within the classroom, we are a project-based learning district. And so part of that is being able to think about really complicated, well-rounded, real-world problems and come up with some potential imaginative solutions to them. The next quadrant of the graduate profile has to do with a healthy mind and body. And so we want our students to be well, right? Like we want them, yes, to be critical thinkers, but part of that is making sure that they are taking care of themselves, that they have joy, that they have community, and they're able to really thrive in their life moving forward. So we want them to be confident. Again, I'm reflecting a lot of what you all shared, your hopes and dreams are for your students when they leave San Leandro. And
佢哋離開 San Leandro，想嗰啲學生有佢想佢哋有信心，向佢哋個心理同埋佢個身體除咗佢哋自己可以同其他人聯繫。可以佢哋用個 Soul Shop Toolbox 或者聽到嗰啲學生老師。
emocional, tomar una pausa y reflejar antes de que empiecen su día. Asegurarse que están calmados y listos para aprender. Queremos que los estudiantes hagan 4 cosas diariamente.
So again, making good decisions for their bodies, for their minds, for their relationships. And again, I said it before in the other quadrant, but we want them to be lifelong learners. We want them to carry on this passion and this critical thinking and care for themselves all the way throughout their entire life. The third quadrant of the graduate profile is around communication and collaboration. And so in this area, this has a lot to do with connections with others, right? And so you'll see there's a lot of connections between the 3 quadrants, but we also really call out or specify specific skills. So it's important that our graduates listen when they leave our classrooms and they leave our doors, right? 2 ears, 1 mouth. So are they really seeking to understand? Are they hearing multiple perspectives? Can they be open to those ideas and then process that information and then go back and use those critical thinking skills to make decisions based on what they hear? Are they able to deliver information effectively? Can they advocate for different positions? Can they teach others? Can they inform other people? Can they clarify understanding so they can listen and then they can deliver information? And then of course, we want them to be able to do that with other people. So can they collaborate? Can they be flexible? Can they work with diverse teams in different settings? And are they able to build consensus when they're making decisions? So communication and collaboration is another key competency of our graduate profile. And then the last piece is around being an ethical and cultural leader. And this, I think, is where your point about equity, Franklin, probably stands out the most. That we can have our students be critical thinkers and strong communicators and collaborators and have healthy minds and bodies, but it's really important that they think outside of themselves, that they're thinking about the greater good while they're also taking care of themselves. So we want to make sure that they're leaving with value so that they can act with integrity and respect for themselves and for others. It's important that they recognize the value of diversity. In our high school, we have an ethnic studies course, and we're expanding that program. And in that ethnic studies program, they're looking at the histories and the experiences and the accomplishments and celebrations of many different people in the United States. And so that's one place, for example, that you see our curriculum reflecting this graduate profile. And then we want them to be responsible for their behavior, their actions and choices. And so exactly, this competency is really where, when they're respecting self and others, they can practice that value of empathy that people spoke about earlier in that first prompt. And then global citizens, global leaders. So we want students to be able to initiate actions and be committed to shaping a better community and a better world, not just act on behalf of themselves. So in fact, here, act with compassion and empathy. Again, 2 specific words that you all mentioned earlier on. Students should be able to engage in conversations to create inclusive and welcoming committees. I think Genji and Franklin are really good examples of what that looks like, right? And so how do we really support our students in being able to create these kind of welcoming communities for people from all areas and backgrounds? And then use that cultural knowledge that they're developing, that they're learning in their history, social studies classes, that they're learning through clubs and socializing with other students, to engage in a diverse world and advocate for equity, to continue to make sure that the policies, the decisions that we make after they leave high school, but even including in our classrooms now, they're really just and fair, and they're inclusive of everyone. So that's our graduate profile. We're really proud of it in San Leandro Unified. There's a broad community of practice, a gathering or community of people across the state and across the country who are looking at San Leandro's graduate profile as a model. And thinking about, it's not just the content, right, which is important, the math, the social studies, the language arts, the PE, the health, all of that really matters, but there's also more, right? So I'm excited that you're talking about this tonight, and I'm excited to hear kind of the next piece, as Genji mentioned, about, how are you interacting with this and thinking about this as you support your students at home? That's all that I have. Okay, so I'm tossing it back to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's Franklin and Genji help us like kind of break that down.
Yeah.
All right, well, great. So let's put up some questions we had to respond.
And I want to say, while you do that, is I think for some of us parents, sometimes maybe we didn't know that the district had a profile. We just thought we were sending kids to school. And
Right.
it could be a lot of information like, oh, wow, there is a roadmap. And so we want to open up to questions, comments, and we'll help figure it out. And if you want to put it in the chat box, Celine can take the questions from there as well. So
Thank you,
this
Celine,
time,
too.
y'all, let's ask. There is no dumb question. There's just questions.
Will you do me a favor? Press the, I know a lot of people are camera off tonight. Will you press your emoticon, your reaction button? How many people, this is your first time taking this look at the graduate profile, or this deep of a look at the graduate profile? Yeah, just press your, yeah.
Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up if it's your first time seeing the graduate profile.
That's good. We like first. That's good. Great.
Great. And then what questions do you have about it? Pretty straightforward. We can keep that question open. And then what do you think, put into the chat, what do you think is the parent's role in supporting this vision of student success? What do you think is the parent's role? What's your role? What do you imagine is your part of the story?
So this is one of the things I'm going to ask one more question. What's coming up for y'all? Like, what is the silence? And I ask that as parents on a call, as a parent, because we also want to know if this is good information to present. And so even in the silence, what's coming up? And if you don't want to say, we'd love for as many folks as possible to respond to chat box. Hi, Miss Trina, you want to say something, my friend? Okay, I saw your thumb up.
Can I ask another question as well?
We have a comment in chat box too.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead. Mhm.
My role is to be on top of everything has to do with my student, learn all tools so I can help to succeed. Does that feel overwhelming, Lucia, or was this helpful to know that the district has a plan as well? Would you mind speaking with us, Lucia? I think I'm saying your name right.
Hi, it's actually my first time at this meeting. Usually at another meetings. So I am trying to get more involved with my students' education, and I am so happy about these classes. So I'm here to actually learn from you guys. I'm actually also taking PK, which is very good, you know, so they are teaching us parents how to have all the tools and resources, know of those resources to help our kids succeed.
Great. Great. Thank you, Ms. Lucia. And, you know, this is why we're doing this, is because some of us are like, I wish I would have known this when my kid was a TK, you know, so right. Oh, thank you. Brian, you said being involved. Would you like to say more about that?
Well, exactly what we're doing right now, just joining the Zoom meetings, and like Lucia said, she's in PK too. So just taking advantage of these opportunities and be involved with the school and programs.
Oh, great. Thank you.
And Brian is one of our parent facilitators at Bancroft Middle School.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Brian.
Mm-hmm. Celine, you said you had another question?
Yeah. Where do you see, or how do you see your students reflecting some of these skills or competencies at home? Like, do you see that? Yeah, that's my question.
Nice.
Would you be able to give us a couple examples of what that could look like, Celine, to help generate some thought?
Yeah, so I have a few teenagers that I live with at home as well. And so I think about sometimes their developing ability to make good decisions, you know, so their friends are going out and, you know, making plans to stay out until a certain time. And for us, it's really important that they have a plan of, you know, where are you going? What's your safety plan? When are you coming back? And as they kind of talk through that, sometimes they're like, oh, actually, you know, like last time I was with Bella, I kind of got in trouble. And so like, I don't actually think that I should hang out with her. Right. Or yeah, so that's one example.
Appreciate it.
That's real.
Yeah. I think one for a healthy mind and body is at the high school, when you look at lunchtime and what is being served, is that my niece comes home and says, the lunch is really good. I can tell that they're having us eat healthier. Today, I chose this instead of that. And so healthy body and mind, that they're critically thinking about what they're actually eating when we're not supervising them. Yeah.
This is great.
The other one, if I could give another example, because I think sometimes as parents too, we're trying to figure out how this looks in little kids' world, because to us, they're still kids, right? And so when you look at ethical and cultural leaders, in particular, coming back after us being in quarantine and dealing with George Floyd and a lot of different unrest, in our schools right now, we have a lot of young folks, in particular middle school and high school, trying to understand.
年輕人學生佢哋想明白點對其他細路哥學生點同他人傾偈，係關於全部嗰啲多種人啦，或者 啲學生喺操場入邊，佢哋對大家點，同埋佢哋對老師點，
I could talk any kind of way and call anybody any kind of name, as opposed to that name may really hurt.
即係譬如咧，我哋可以講任何嘢，或者叫人係點對佢哋啊，或者佢哋諗起或者有啲嘢講對佢哋唔好，即係唔係 OK。如果有人個 he 工作嚟掹開 he 工作咁或者冇啦。因為佢哋係有佢嗰啲問題啊。而家阿 Celine 可以講。有一個家長係有個幼稚園個轉變計劃，即係4、5歲嗰啲學生係點學同其他聯繫。
Secondary, but I just wanted to, especially.
Dice, ustedes mencionaron lo que es la secundaria preparatoria, pero también es una visión desde que empiezan los niños desde en TK. Y tratamos que todos estén teniendo este perfil de graduado en toda la unificado.
But I love that you brought that up, Celine, because there are even students who have special needs and all kinds of things that in elementary school and TK, you see a lot happen and how family dynamics happen. And this is where we also teach young folks what family structures look like, how to treat folks, how to talk to folks. And so you can also ask your students, or when you look at the things they send home on what the curriculum is or what the teachers are focusing on, take a picture of this and see if you see any of that connect to what you're seeing on this document. You can even take this to the teacher and say, can you show me how you're doing this in your classroom? Yeah. All right, here's the big question. What was the last question, Franklin? The last question was,
what do you need? What do you need?
Or what is more information do you need? What else do you need? Right.
Nice. Let me type that into the chat.
Some of us say we need these classes. I need it. What do you need, or what information do you need?
Love that.
Okay. I'm going to throw a separate. If you are having a challenging day or are enjoying just being quiet and observing today, can you put an emoji up? Because I want to acknowledge, and Celine, I'm so glad so many parents are here and it's so quiet, but if you are just completely here, but just have had a hard day or are tired, go ahead and just give us a raise a hand or a nod or camera on and off. Okay, I see you, Lucia. Great, I see you guys. Thank you, hi. Great. And I want to pause to acknowledge that, because thank you, Maria and Norma, everyone, Violetta. Yeah, thank you, Denise. And I want to pause and acknowledge that, because I want you all to know that Franklin and I don't believe that because people aren't talking, you're not fully here. We know parents show up virtually, we're here. And so whatever it took for you to get here today and to hear this information, thank you for being here. And I think the beauty is that Celine is a great resource in our district, even James, and our parent advocates on the, I almost said on the phone line, on Zoom. And so this information is also recorded and will be on the website. So you can always look back at it or come to another session and ask us. And so Celine, thank you so much. For some of us, and Franklin and I do a lot of work in the district. I learned a lot by watching this too, and listening, and, you know, go ask your teachers and stuff. Here's the beauty, you all, and I want to wrap this for you with Celine, and you have the last words before we do RAFO. It's good to know that the district has a vision for our young people outside of them being in their schools. And it's nice to be in a district that is not just looking at our kids while they're on campus and in school, but when they become young folks in the world. And so this is the presentation to let you know that our district is thinking about our kids in a way maybe we didn't even realize. Violetta, I saw you came on screen. Do you want to say something, my friend? Hi.
No, it's just that I'm very happy about this presentation because it's letting the parents know that we're here for them, and as a parent that I'm not alone. To tell you the truth, my daughter just started Bancraft this year.
Yeah.
And I was really scared. I think I'm still really scared about everything. I want her to think, I want her to know that we love her so much that, nothing's gonna change that. But I know that there's a lot of changes coming, and I'm so scared. And this makes me, happy to know that I'm working at home and the district also working with them at school.
Thank you, Violetta. If any other parents here are scared about their children and the decisions, raise your hand. I am scared about these middle school kids outside of the school and sending this kid off graduating high school. Can we just keep her in high school one more year? If you have nervousness like Violetta about your child, go ahead and James put up praying hands. You can even put up praying hands if you need to, right? Show everyone else they are not alone in feeling nervous. Right, we're nervous. First, we have invested a lot in these kids, and I'm
already stressing.
money. That counts though. But in heart and tears and prayers and trying to show them right. Kyle, you want to say something? You got the emoji party going on over there.
Yeah. Sometimes I laugh sometimes, like the chat said, I'm already stressing what Franklin said. When he said that, I started laughing too.
Yeah, if you work with kids, Brian, it'll make you stressed too. Just skip middle school age, right?
If you could please jump in on the survey and give us your feedback on today's presentation, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Frank, I saw you had the resource slide up.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to grab the name, Brian's here tonight, Violetta's here tonight, and
Miss Joanna.
Miss Joanna's here tonight. So please feel free to grab the phone number for any one of the parent facilitators at any one of the schools in San Leandro. This is a great way to get connected to the school fast and navigate.
And everyone, let's just give our parent facilitators a heart because they've been with our kids all day long. That has not
Come
been
on now. Come
here.
on.
You know what's going on at your kids' school. So just say thank you for being here tonight, parent facilitators. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And some of our parent facilitators, are in dual roles as parents as well. So they are joining us. And as Violetta shares, she has a child at Bancroft. So, many of our parent facilitators are dual in the district.
I love it.
Yes. And then, of course, Norma Alonso. How are you, Norma? Can you talk and just say hello? Not right
Yes,
now.
of course. Yes. I'm also wanted to say that I'm the parent facilitator at Garfield. And yes, we're also there to support the parents and guide the parents, as a parent myself, I know the importance of being informed for your own children. I always tell the parents that I work for, the families, if you're informed and if you have knowledge, you'll be able to direct and help your child succeed, from elementary to high school. So, yes.
Thank you so much, Ms. Norma. I know I put you on the spot there. I'm sorry about that, but I'm glad everyone got to hear your voice as well. And then, of course, tonight we have our raffle.
Raffle.
Take place at this time. Let's go. It's raffle time. And since today is the 9th, I just looked on my gallery and I counted every 9th person. And so our raffle winners for tonight are Rayo Chavez, Alma Padilla, congratulations again, and Ms. Trina. Are you still here? Let's go. All right. So congratulations to you. We'll send you a Target gift card. So stay on the line. Everyone else, have a great week.
Take care.
Yep.
Oh, no, go ahead.
And we look forward to seeing you in December. And we'll grab that December date for you.
Yeah. And if you see us on campus somewhere, just grab us and say hi. I think I saw someone at a coffee shop one day and the little kid kept looking at me. I said, you must be on our parent landing pad, because he thought I was in a Zoom hotel. So if we see each other, let's just say hi and good to see you. Take care of yourself this week and your young folks.
Great, thank you. David, please stay on the line.
Yes, I will stay on the line.
Great. Rayo, Alma, and Ms. Trina, we'll need your information. So hold
Con la
on.
señora Rayo, la señora Alma y la señora Trina, por favor pongan su nombre, número de teléfono y correo electrónico.
December 14th.
El 14 de diciembre. Es para la próxima.
December 14th.
El 14 de diciembre.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Have a
Buenas
good day.
noches.